Friday the 13th. What this movie/game means to me. As a kid, and even a young adult, Jason Voorhees was one of the most terrifying horror personalities to hit the silver screen. As long as I can remember back, the Friday the 13th series had me in the movie theater every time one of these great but cheesy sequels had emerged. So to no surprise, I was so excited when I found out that Gun Media was really going to do it. Do what, you ask? They were going to make that childhood fear into a gaming reality. The thought of the invincible Jason coming after you, where you could only use your wits to escape. And I think Gun Media captured that aspect of the game perfectly. Let's talk about the good qualities first. The environment. The environment, as far as I'm concerned, is done very well. They've got the whole feel of Camp Crystal Lake down to a T. The Jason animations. The Jason animations were done perfectly, makes you feel like you're watching the actual movie. And the music is so on point. You've got to give credit to whoever put that together if it was the original movie soundtrack. Amazing. Getting the actual Jason actor to motion cap was nothing short of genius. Being Jason is by far the highlight of the game. It's fast, in-your-face fun, and oddly satisfying to catch each of your friends as they squirm around Camp Crystal Lake. They even brought Tommy Jarvis into the game from the Friday the 13th Part 6, which was my personal favorite movie of the series. Also, this game is designed to play with friends, and friends are needed. Playing this with randoms, or just playing it alone, is not at all satisfying. Let me repeat that. Not at all satisfying. There's something about when you're actually chasing people that you play video games with on a daily basis and be able to capture them and do them in Camp Crystal Lake. As Jason, it's very satisfying. I jumped into a few rounds with randoms, and the fun factor dropped quite a bit for me, to the point where I didn't even want to finish the match. The game also prefers you and your friends to play in-game chat. This is interesting, because a lot of people during streaming, especially on Mixer, they've been liking to stay in party chat, which, don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of party chat, and I wanted to do that at first too. But you can see the game is catered to have you in game chat. And when you're in game chat, you can only speak to whoever's within a certain proximity of your location. And Jason can't hear anybody until he gets within a certain proximity. It really puts the game in perspective and the fear factor through the roof. So that's how I recommend you play this game. It makes the game a bit more challenging, but I really enjoyed not hearing my friends unless we were close by each other. Made the thrill that much more realistic. Jason at times is OP, but in other times, with a less experienced player, can seem just as vulnerable as one of the counselors, which makes the game enjoyable and playable. So depending on who you're playing with, if it's a veteran Jason player, your time as a counselor could be very short. This game could be probably about 5 minutes long if you have someone who's really skilled at the Jason character. Now let's discuss some of the negatives. Technically, it's a bit of what I call a beautiful mess. It's buggy, clunky, and rumor has it the Xbox One version is still a beta that has an update that's supposedly on the way. First of all, as much as we all want to sit here and say the game is fun, something like that is inexcusable. To charge $40 and still be releasing a beta on one of the major platforms, that's not acceptable. The rumor also is that possibly sometime down the line we'll see a single player campaign, but the thing is right now, there's no single player campaign, and you're still charging $40. Being a camp counselor in the game is as much fun as it was being a camp counselor in the movies. It's not. The idea is to pick up useful items and either escape Jason or defeat Jason. Problem is, you spend the majority of your 20 minutes per session crouched over and hiding from the sounds of the Friday the 13th theme music. Sometimes Jason doesn't even appear, but you hide when you hear the orchestra play. Also, as great as OP Jason is when you're Jason, it's equally frustrating as a counselor that can stun Jason at best before you get choked out by his kung fu grip. All in all, I have to say that I've put a good amount of time into this game, and I thought I'd write it off by now. And I don't think I'm done playing it yet. It's a blast with friends, and it's a great game to stream. When you stream, Both you, the player, and the person watching are so stimulated that it keeps your interests peaked. Something very rare in streaming. Most times when I watch other stream games, I find after 5-10 minutes I'm done watching. But this game holds viewers for over 30 minutes a stream. I gotta speak the truth and say this game surprised me in how it did provide fun, providing you have your friends in your game. Friday the 13th does bring the horror and scare that the movies gave us years ago, but its technical flaws make it hard to recommend at $40. It's said that Gun Media will release that single player campaign, and if they do, maybe, just maybe, depending, we'd have to do another review on it to see how that part of the game is, but maybe this would be worth $40. Until then, just realize what you're buying, people. You gotta understand, this game is really a half a game again, and it's multiplayer only. So again, you're dependent on the servers, which are crashing. You're depending on the people that are in the game with you, that you have no control over. This is the thing. So you're buying a game for $40 that works sometimes, is technically flawed, and fun, in quotes, with your immediate friends. So just realize what you're purchasing, people. Well, that's it. That's all I can say. Will I keep playing this? Yes. Do I think I'll be playing this for weeks and weeks to come? Probably not. As far as I'm concerned, the Mooch gives Friday the 13th the game a 6.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. There's a lot more gaming reviews and Let's Plays to come.